My eldest sister loved sneaking around. One day, she snuck vegetarian treats from the royal temple and got caught red-handed by the third prince. Terrified, she spun on her heel and ran. When she glanced back over her shoulder, the third prince froze, utterly captivated. "You look exactly like someone I once knew." Chaos erupted all over the temple that day. The third prince searched every corner until he finally tracked my eldest sister down. But she was meant to marry another man in 3 short days. He sighed. "I once had a marriage arranged for me. How about I pass this betrothal over to your fiancé instead?" After a little hesitation, she agreed. The entire mansion buzzed with wedding excitement. Only I, the unlucky second daughter, tormented myself over the forced marriage waiting for me in 3 days. Back at the estate, my eldest sister refused every meal, throwing endless tantrums. After trying to soothe her for hours, my parents summoned me. "Your sister's heart is troubled, Qingheng. She has something to talk to you about." My eldest sister's fiancé was Sun Yanshi, the eldest son of the Minister of Personnel. He was widely celebrated across the capital for his talent. She rambled on and on to me. It all boiled down to one thing. She worried constantly about Sun Yanshi. She demanded I take excellent care of him once we wed. I could not bear to listen any longer and headed straight back to my courtyard. My maid Xiaotao burned with anger for me. "She stole your engagement, yet she still dares lecture you. How can someone gain everything and act so smug about it?" Xiaotao was bought by my maternal grandmother to serve me. She had stayed by my side for over 10 years and always spoke her mind freely. She begged me to cry and throw fits just like my sister. But Xiaotao did not understand. Tantrums only worked for my eldest sister in this household. If I wept, my parents would only grow to resent me more. Mother ordered the kitchen to make hawthorn pastries to cheer my elder sister up, and our evening meal got completely forgotten. By the time food arrived at my courtyard, it had turned stone cold. Soon after, Mother came to visit me. The second she sat down, she began dabbing at her teary eyes. "The third prince has set his sights on your sister. I know how unfair this feels, but what can we do now that everything is settled?" The dinner food had been far too salty. I simply kept my head low and drank water. She held my hand and chattered nonstop. She kept reminding me I grew up far away in the countryside. Even though the late Empress Dowager personally arranged this marriage for me years ago, the Meng family had fallen from grace. Times had changed. Whether it was me or my sister marrying into the prince's household, what real difference did it make? Her words rang painfully true. Grandfather had been a ranked general once, yet father had no skill for either scholarship or battle. If this engagement of mine fell through, our family would face even greater humiliation. I pulled my hand away from hers. "Mother, if elder sister does not wish to marry into the Shun household, she can simply break off the engagement. Why must I take her place?" Sharp agony stabbed through my chest the moment those words left my mouth. Xiaoheng wanted my elder sister, so he decided to hand me over to her fiancé. There was no justice in this. I knew my parents never loved me deeply, yet I still clung to a faint hope. I thought, surely they would show me mercy when it came to my lifelong marriage. Unfortunately, she gripped her silk handkerchief tightly and turned her face away. "I wish I could side with you, but the wedding is only 3 days away. If we call off the engagement now, and she marries the third prince afterward, what will become of her reputation?" Cold wind swept through the gaps in the window frame. I set down my teacup and let out a bitter scoff. "I understand now." Mother's lips trembled. In the end, she covered her face and hurried away, weeping. There were only 2 years separating my elder sister Meng Qinggu and me. When I turned 3, a wandering Taoist visited our mansion. He claimed my sister and I held conflicting birth fates, and we would drain each other's good fortune. Without hesitation, my parents sent me to live with my maternal grandparents in Qingzhou. If my grandmother hadn't passed away last month, and I hadn't suffered a head injury, my family never would have brought me back early. The very day I returned home, my elder sister claimed a sudden splitting headache. That was why my parents decided the whole family should stay at the royal temple for a few days of prayer to chase away bad luck. We were supposed to head home early that day. But my elder sister heard the temple kitchen made snow poria cream, so she snuck off secretly to get some. She never expected the third prince to return from his fiefdom. He came to visit Dowager Shu, who lived in quiet retreat at the temple. By cruel coincidence, he ran straight into my sister as she snuck food. But whatever blossomed between them was their business. Why should I be forced to wed her fiancé just because of a casual decision they made? I refused to wait helplessly for my fate. I sent a message, asking to meet Xiaoheng. Yet he refused to see me. His personal bodyguard delivered his reply. His Highness says he will soon be wed. It would be improper to meet with you privately. Panic surged through me. I told the guard I had no intention of clinging to him. I was willing to end our engagement, but I refused to marry Xin Yanshi. The guard sighed heavily. Miss Meng, I am only meant to pass along messages. I cannot decide such important matters. Shall I return and speak to His Highness on your behalf? I had no other choice but to agree. I wandered back to my courtyard, heartbroken and empty. We had actually met once when we were children. It was grandfather's birthday banquet. Xiaoheng came with the Empress Dowager to our estate. Bored and mischievous, he grabbed a bamboo pole to knock pears from our backyard tree. He never imagined he would strike a wasp nest instead. He fled in terror, and I acted fast, throwing my outer robe over his head to shield him. That day, the Empress Dowager praised me, saying I was quick-witted and sharp. At the very least, I once saved his life. I thought he would not bring harm to me. After speaking with the prince's guard, I went to meet Xin Yanshi. He was handsome, elegant, and always upheld proper conduct. He told me he would never force anyone into marriage. With fragile hope lingering in my heart, I returned home and waited for news. I never received a reply from Xiaoheng. Instead, an imperial decree arrived. Xiaoheng personally begged the emperor for this order. It was the same royal guard who brought the news. This time, impatience lingered in his gaze. His Highness asked me to pass this on. He says you have always competed with your elder sister for everything. You need to learn that not all good things in this world belong to you. Stop craving what was never meant to be yours. His words cut deep. My heart sank to the very bottom. My elder sister giggled. Congratulations, little sister. You grew up out in Qingzhou. You are not a noble lady raised in the capital. Marrying into the Shen household is already a great honor for you. She leaned in close to my face afterward. His Highness originally said he could revoke this order. I told him all the wedding rituals had already been arranged. Our parents would lose all face, and my reputation would be ruined. That was why he went to the palace to request the imperial decree. Instantly, I realized none of this could be simple coincidence. If Xiaoheng wanted to marry her, he could do so freely. In our realm, women were allowed to end engagements or leave unhappy marriages. Nothing stopped them. There was no reason he had to force me to marry Xin Yanshi. It turned out my elder sister simply wanted to make my life miserable. My marriage to Xin Yanshi was now completely set in stone. Xiao Tao's eyes reddened with rage. Miss, what if we run away? Run away? But where could I possibly go? Everyone who loved and cared for me was already gone. I had nowhere left to turn. The next day, servants from the Shun Manor arrived. Young servants carried boxes inside. My eldest sister skipped over eagerly. Let me see what rare treasure my beloved Xin brought to charm me this time. The servant looked uneasy. Miss Qingwu, these gifts are from our young master for the second young lady. They opened the wooden chest. Inside were 1,000 taels of gold and a pair of jade rui talismans. I could not figure out Xin Yanshi's intentions. Then I recalled our meeting at the tea house. He said he owed me and would offer compensation. This must be what he meant. The jade rui glowed with subtle inner radiance. It was clearly priceless. Furious, my eldest sister kicked a stone on the path. So what? The prince's mansion has every luxury imaginable. Dusk barely fell, and mother came to my courtyard for her sake. Qingheng, you stole your sister's fiancé. In just one day, Xin Yanshi's heart has turned to you, and he sent such lavish gifts. It is only natural that your sister is hurt. Hand over the jade rui to her as an apology. I will not treat you unfairly. This glowing cloud silk was a tribute from Yunzhou. I made 2 sets of garments. Both were meant for your sister originally. Now this cyan set belongs to you. I stared at the shimmering silk beneath the lamp. I burst out laughing. Mother stared at me in shock. This glowing cloud silk was worth a fortune. My eldest sister wore it when she was only 8. Now I could only get it through Mother's charity. Memories washed over me. I suffered a stubborn cough that year, with no cure. My maternal grandparents sent attendants to bring me to the capital for treatment. It happened to coincide with my eldest sister's birthday celebration. Qingzhou produced plenty of silk and linen, yet even the fanciest dresses and ornaments could not compare to those in the capital. Mother feared I would embarrass the family, so she sent one silk outfit for me. I accepted it happily. That afternoon, my elder sister threw a wild tantrum. Why did Mother give my things to you? She rolled on the ground, crying and screaming. Her nanny hurried to soothe her. Silly girl. That spring dress got eaten by moths after being forgotten outside. You would never wear it anyway. The gown you have on is glowing cloud silk. Madam loves you the most. My eldest sister stormed off with a pout. I held the dress up to sunlight. Sure enough, tiny moth holes dotted the fabric. The gown was embroidered with trumpet creepers. I used embroidery threads to cover every hole with falling flower petals. The ordinary dress suddenly looked graceful as I walked. Many noble ladies at the banquet gathered to admire my gown. Everyone ignored my eldest sister. That very night, I was sent back to Qingzhou. I was still asleep. I overheard my parents talking outside the carriage. Such scheming at such a young age. No one paid attention to Qingwu's zither performance. All eyes were fixed on her skirt.
Sigh.
Ever since she came back, Qingwu has fallen ill with fever. The Taoist was right. She brings misfortune to her elder sister. Besides, striking beauty brings trouble. Send her back quickly. Speak to her maternal grandparents. Tell them to discipline her strictly. A woman should not be overly competitive. I snapped back to reality as Mother patted my arm. Qingheng, if you stay silent, I will take that as your agreement. I held her hand firmly and pushed the silk outfit back toward her. I have never liked cyan. The jade rui was sent to me, and I will not give it away. If we talk about stealing, I never wanted this marriage from the very start. Mother, you gave me life. Let the position of prince's consort count as repayment for your birth grace. Once I marry tomorrow, I will be a wife of the Shen family. When I finished speaking, she clutched her chest, as if struck hard.
Fine. Fine.
Are you trying to cut ties with me? The Taoist was right after all. You are simply... I cut her off before she finished. I quietly began tidying my bedding. Seeing she could not persuade me, she stormed away in anger. My bond with this family has always been shallow. No matter what I do, I can never compare to my eldest sister. Perhaps this is fate. My wedding was arranged hastily. Even my bridal robe was the one my eldest sister rejected. The wedding day arrived with clear skies. Yet out of 48 wedding dowry chests, 30 stood empty. I asked Father what this meant. He cleared his throat. Your elder sister marries a prince. Naturally, her dowry must be rich and grand. 1 hour remained before the Shun household came to fetch the bride. I refused to hold back any longer. I ordered Xiaotao to open every chest and count everything. Father's face turned livid. Meng Qingheng, what are you doing? Do you plan to interrogate your parents? Have you no sense of shame? Xiaotao finished counting and whispered in my ear. I lifted my head. Father, Mother. Half of these belongings are what my maternal grandparents prepared for me back in Qingzhou. Where is the other half? I never demanded riches from you. Will you even seize the dowry left by my grandparents? Many clan relatives were present. My voice trembled with sorrow, and a few tears slid down my cheeks. People whispered among themselves. Uncle and aunt always favor their elder daughter. They handed the marriage to Meng Qinggu and even withheld the younger girl's dowry. Exactly. Meng Qingheng is a kind soul. I would have turned against them long ago. Poor Qingheng. Listening to their murmurs, I felt nothing. They misunderstood. I had already severed my heart from my parents long ago. I would not let the three of them bully me to ruin. I would never give up my dowry. In the end, my parents returned all the dowry my grandparents gave me. The wedding carriage swayed back and forth, making me dizzy. I still remembered after I was sent back to Qingzhou, I caught a bad cold. It was one disaster after another. Xiaotao cried the whole journey while tending to me. Once we reached my grandparents' home, she told them everything. She complained that they should not have traveled through the night. Grandmother burned with rage. She wondered how parents could be so heartless. Feverish and delirious, I grabbed grandmother's sleeve. "Grandmother, why does mother not love me?" Tears rolled down grandmother's face. Grandfather spoke slowly. "Qingheng, plants that rely on other branches snap easily when winds come. Only those who stand firm on their own can control their fate." Back then, I was too young to understand his words. Later, I read countless books. I learned it is better to rely on yourself than others. A wise man seeks strength within himself, while the weak turn to others. At last, I understood. The only person I can trust is myself. After going through endless wedding rituals, I finally got a chance to rest. We drank the ceremonial nuptial wine together. I glanced at the snow-white silk cloth laid on the bed. Before I could say a word, Shen Yanshi pricked his finger and dropped blood onto the fabric. Shock washed over me. "Just ask servants to get chicken blood. Why hurt yourself like this?" He wiped his finger clean. "I can't risk it. If word gets out, what will happen to you?" He sat down on his own afterward. "I know you never wanted this marriage, but you're my wife now. I will protect you with all I have. If you ever fall for someone else later, we can end our marriage peacefully." I expected him to act like the heroes from storybooks. He would treat me with respect, yet keep his heart reserved for my elder sister. To my surprise, he kept speaking. "My feelings for your elder sister are all in the past. Now that I've married you, I will give you every ounce of dignity. I won't hold space for anyone else in my heart. It would be dishonorable and an insult to you. So Meng Qingheng, set your mind at ease. I will never wrong you." My emotions swirled into a messy tangle. I always knew my parents never cared for me. Back then, I thought marrying Xiao Heng would let me escape the Meng manor. Life could not possibly get worse. But that engagement fell apart. By some cruel twist of fate, I ended up wed to Shen Yanshi. Seeing me zone out, Shen Yanshi continued. "I've heard the whole story. When the third prince lived in his fief, he played Go with a woman and lost 6 matches in a row. His birth mother had just passed away, and he faced constant pressure from others. That woman used the game to teach him lessons about life and comforted him. When he returned on the 7th day, she was gone. All these years, he has been searching for her. That's why he refused to let go after seeing your elder sister." Now, everything made sense. Still, I thought to myself, if he was already bound by an engagement, he should not have grown close to another woman. He was far from pure and upright. This thought lightened my heavy heart. All my former admiration for him faded away completely. Shen Yanshi laid a quilt on the floor. "We spent our wedding night apart like that. By imperial order, we had to go to the palace at dawn to thank the emperor the next morning." Shen Yanshi and I hurried to the palace. The emperor offered a few kind wishes for our harmonious marriage. He bestowed some gifts and dismissed us. Afterward, Shen Yanshi led me toward noble consort Shen's Zhaohua Palace. "Don't be nervous. My aunt has a gentle temper." I trusted his words. Rumors said noble consort Shen was soft-spoken. She only had one princess as her child. Yet she remained the emperor's favorite for years. Noble consort Shen looked me over carefully. She told Shen Yanshi to treat me well. I assumed Shen Yanshi would stay and chat with her for a while. So I stepped out of the main hall. The garden in Zhaohua Palace was exquisitely built. I wandered around with a young palace maid. Before I knew it, I reached the front courtyard. 2 figures suddenly appeared in the distance. The maid whispered quickly, "Madam Shen, those are the 5th prince and 3rd prince. Please wait here. I will go announce your presence." She barely finished speaking before the 2 men walked closer. I had nowhere to hide. I bowed politely as the rules required. Greetings, fifth prince, third prince.
Oh,
Who might you be? The maid rushed to answer. Fifth prince, this is young Master Shin's newly wedded wife. Her ladyship the noble consort is speaking with young Master Shin, so Madam Shin came out to enjoy the scenery. I see. Shao-Chi drew out his tone. So, this is Madam Shin. I attended your wedding feast yesterday. It is a pleasure to meet you. I kept my head lowered. Shao-Chi was famously reckless and loved parties and fun. As for Xiaoheng, I held no fond feelings toward him. I only hoped this awkward exchange would end soon. But Shao-Chi loved stirring up trouble. Third brother, won't you say hello? Xiaoheng walked past me, stirring a gust of wind. No need. There is no point. I never lifted my head. I quietly breathed a sigh of relief. Running into my former fiancé on the second day of my wedding was hardly a good omen. Hey, third brother, wait for me. Shao-Chi gave me a quick nod and hurried to catch up with him. Shun Yenshi came out holding an ornate mother-of-pearl inlaid box. A gift from my aunt. She said it suits you. I opened it, revealing a pair of top-quality jadeite bangles. Truth be told, this marriage into the Shun household was an incredible opportunity. My father-in-law and mother-in-law were widely respected in the capital. Shun Yenshi was their only son. After claiming the top rank in the imperial exam, he rose to serve as a senior imperial judge. His future looked incredibly bright. What's more, the Shun family upheld strict honorable traditions. Unless the main wife bore no children, no man from this family could take concubines. I had heard of this long ago. My parents spent a whole year picking and choosing before securing this marriage for my elder sister. When we returned to the Shun manor, my in-laws were waiting for us. After we served them tea, my mother-in-law smiled and studied me. You and your elder sister look so alike. What happened to your forehead? I touched my forehead. I simply said I had fallen and hit my head, leaving scars that had not fully faded. It was true that I resembled my elder sister, yet her features were sharper. My father-in-law spoke up. Girl, you seem so distant with us. Your maternal grandfather Song Changhe and I studied together. On your 6th birthday, your mother-in-law and I visited your home in Qingzhou and stayed for some time. You kept pestering her to make lotus pastries for you. You also got along wonderfully with Yenshi. You chased after him all day, calling him elder brother. At those words, my mother-in-law chided my husband's father. She was far too young back then. She must have forgotten. I feared misunderstanding would arise, so I explained gently. I lost a great deal of blood and stayed unconscious for 2 days after the fall. Many memories faded when I woke up. I hope you will not blame me. Silly child. How could I blame you? My husband's parents were warm and easygoing. They had grown up together and shared a deep, loving bond. I felt completely at ease during our first meeting. Perhaps this life would not be so terrible. It could never be worse than living in the Meng Manor. 3 days after the wedding came the scheduled home visit. That day, I upset my parents yet again. During the feast, only one butter pastry remained on the table, and I scooped it up. My elder sister's eyes turned red, and she stormed off right away. Mother lost her temper on the spot. Why must you compete with your sister over everything? She shot Shin Yenshi a meaningful glance, then hurried to comfort my elder sister. Father forced a smile. Come now, pay her no mind. Shin Yenshi smiled, yet joy never reached his eyes. There were 6 butter pastries in total. Eldest sister already ate 5. Qingheng only took 1. His tone stayed calm, but his words clearly pointed out Mother's unfair favoritism. On our ride home, he hesitated for a long time before asking the question weighing on him. Have your father and mother always treated you like this? I let out a bitter smile. Today was better than usual with you here. The carriage wheels clattered along the road. I watched the street scenery drift backward outside the window and spoke softly. I never understood why my parents favored her. Once, when I stayed at my grandparents' home, a cat next door had kittens. I asked the owner for one ahead of time. When they brought it over, I named her Ahua. She was adorable, with fluffy ears and soft little paws. Shun Yenshir chuckled. I raised a tabby cat when I was young. It loved climbing trees to chase birds and picked fights constantly. Any dog passing by would get swatted by it. What happened next? Where is your kitten? I kept telling the story. I raised a hua for half a month before the owner rushed over. He apologized repeatedly. He said there was a mix-up. The kitten meant for me was another one. The one I held was promised to Madam Lee from East Street. Both kittens had the same striped fur. I could barely tell them apart. But in that moment, I could not bear to give a hua away. So I asked to keep both cats. I named the second kitten Doozy. She was quieter and ate anything offered. Still, I loved Ahua far more. That was when I finally understood. My parents loved my elder sister for no logical reason, just like my fondness for Ahua. Shan Yenshir asked me, "Did you treat the two cats differently?" I shook my head. Not at all. If Ahua got a bowl of fish soup mixed with rice, Doozy got one too. If Doozy had a strip of dried meat made by my grandmother, Ahua would have one as well. Even the cotton lining in their bed nests was split evenly. Shin Yenshir fell into quiet thought. That's exactly it. Even though you preferred Ahua, you never shortchanged Doozy. Qingheng, your parents are in the wrong. They should not dote on Meng Qingwu alone. And you have done nothing wrong. You are such a kind person. Many people will grow to love you. I looked at his sincere expression. My fingers unconsciously twisted the hem of my clothes. I had long wallowed in feelings of unfairness. Perhaps he had endured similar loneliness all along. Neither of us was at fault. Life flowed peacefully after that. Shin Yenshir and I treated each other with respect and care. Whenever he came across delicious food or fine treats, he always brought some back for me. When I headed out, I would pick up elegant hair crowns for him, if I spotted any. My parents-in-law were overjoyed. They talked every day about hoping for a grandchild soon. But a major case shook the capital recently. Shun Yenshir kept working late into the night. One night close to the spring equinox, I got up to fetch some water. I nearly jumped out of my skin when I saw Shin Yenshir sitting by the bed, watching me. Dim lamplight filled the room, chasing away my sleepiness. He looked apologetic and pulled out a wooden box. "Did I wake you? See if you like this." Men usually gave hairpins, jade ornaments, or clothing as gifts. I expected nothing out of the ordinary. Yet when I opened the box, a flute rested inside. It was crafted by Master Lin, the legendary flute maker. Everyone knew his reputation. Decades ago, the late emperor first noticed the Empress Dowager during a selection, captivated by her flute melody. She played on a purple bamboo flute made by Master Lin. I froze for a second. How did Shun Yenshir know I could play the flute? Noticing my surprise, he explained slowly. When my dowry was being stored, one chest slipped and fell. Scores of music sheets and go manuals tumbled out. So, I took a guess. I figure my wife must know music well. I excitedly lifted the flute and played Phoenix Seeks Its Mate. Shun Yenshir sat under the lamp, gazing at me intently. My life grew better and better. I almost forgot this marriage began as a forced swap. Shin Yenshir was handsome and extraordinarily talented. We composed poems and shared verses, like two souls perfectly matched. His only flaw was terrible Go skills. He lost to me every single time. He secretly read my Go manuals over and over, hoping to improve. In the end, he could only sigh. "You have unmatched natural talent. No amount of practice can close that gap for me." Shun Yenshir tracked down an imperial physician from the palace and spent a fortune on a jar of jade healing cream for the scar on my forehead. The mark faded more each day. By early summer, it was completely invisible. My elder sister's wedding day was set for the 8th day of the month. Mother sent an invitation, asking me to bring bridal gifts for her. I had no wish to attend. I wrote out a gift list and sent presents over in my place. Her wedding was unbelievably grand. Her procession stretched for miles, with silver candies scattered all along the road. I heard the phoenix crown was set with pearls as big as pigeon eggs. Xiao Dao feared I would feel hurt. Ever since we moved to the Shun Manor, She never mentioned Xiao Heng or my elder sister around me. But there were many servants in the estate. Gossip always drifted to my ears. People said Xiao Heng spoiled her endlessly. If she shed a single tear, he would punish the servants around her. Even when others called her rude and ill-mannered, Xiao Heng defended her fiercely. I treated all these stories as idle chatter. A few days later, the third prince's guard visited me again. He handed over a cloth bundle. Inside were old letters and a collection of gifts. Xiao Heng and I once exchanged letters and small presents. One year, he wrote that he was swamped with affairs and suggested we stop writing to each other. I never sent another letter after that. I guess that was when he met the person he wished to spend his life with. I took the bundle and burned every letter right away. I told the guard, "Tell your master all his old letters to me have been burned. He can rest easy." Just like Shenyanshi, I refuse to cling to the past. From now on, Xiao Heng and my elder sister have nothing to do with me. I never expected my elder sister's homecoming visit would bring such trouble. My parents sent servants to fetch me time and again. My mother-in-law sighed. "Your in-laws are in the wrong, but you are still their daughter. Try not to break etiquette." I could not keep refusing. I ordered the carriage ready and went to find Shenyanshi. On the way, he held my hand. "If you do not wish to stay long, we will leave right after the meal." I nodded. My elder sister waited in the flower hall, while father spoke with Xiao Heng in the study. Mother turned to Shenyanshi. "Yanshi, your father-in-law wants to speak with you." Shenyanshi glanced at me and stepped away. The moment he left, my elder sister spoke sharply. "Kneel." My heart tightened. Our statuses were different now. I should greet her properly, yet she clearly aimed to humiliate me. She sipped tea leisurely and refused to tell me to stand. "Do you know why I punish you?" I gritted my teeth. "I do not." Her anger flared higher. "Yanshi drank alone at Fan Tower until dawn last night. Dare you say this has nothing to do with you? What did I tell you? Can you not even hold your husband's heart? Is this what you promise me?" Then she sneered. "If this continues, I will send 2 beautiful concubines to your manor to take care of him for you." I thought how miserable my fate was. Why must Meng Qingwu be my unreasonable elder sister? Whether Shenyanshi drank all night and how I treat my husband are none of her business. Even if she became empress one day, I am an official's wife. She could not bully me freely. Without waiting for her permission, I stood up and sat on a chair, rubbing my sore knees. "Elder sister, I will tell you this once, and only once. How my husband and I get along has nothing to do with you. I hold no official title, but if you keep picking fights, I will endure harsh punishment and go to the court drum to ask everyone how proper it is for an elder sister-in-law to constantly meddle in her younger sister's marriage." I stepped closer. "Do you not see how repulsive you are?" I spoke the last words with heavy emphasis. Even arrogant Meng Qingwu was shocked. She raised her hand and slapped me. I lifted my hand to strike back. Before my palm touched her, a flying object hit my wrist hard. Pain shot through me, and I pulled my hand back. A green plum rolled on the ground after bouncing 3 times. "Who gave you the courage to hurt my person? Are you tired of living?" It had to be Xiao Heng. Shenyanshi rushed forward to support me. "Are you hurt?" I leaned against him and held my throbbing wrist. The blow was fierce, leaving clear red marks on my skin. Shenyanshi burned with anger. "This is merely a small quarrel between sisters. Your Highness, why react so fiercely? My wife's hands are for playing Go, blowing flutes and writing. If any permanent harm comes to them, I will even bring this matter before the Empress to seek justice." Seeing his rage, I feared a serious conflict between him and Xiao Heng. I lifted my head and met Xiao Heng's eyes. Before I could speak, he frowned tightly and exclaimed in shock, "It's you." This was the first time I faced Xiao Heng after growing up. He stood tall and striking, handsome yet overbearing. Just looking at him filled me with unexplainable disgust. Still, I defended myself. "Elder sister struck first. Your Highness should discipline her instead of abusing your power." Xiao Heng ignored my words. He grabbed my arm out of control. You do not remember me? You defeated me every time. I went to the Go Pavilion on the 7th day, but you never came? I frowned and pulled my arm free forcefully. Your Highness, I am Meng Qingheng, Shen Yanshir's wife. My elder sister's face turned deathly pale. Slowly, she understood what was happening. I said coldly, You have mistaken me for someone else. I have never met you. Xiao Heng looked as if cold water had been poured over his head. He stared at me blankly. After a long pause, he spoke. My apologies. I must have confused you with another person. His voice sounded calm, yet I spotted his clenched fists hidden inside his sleeves, knuckles turning white. My elder sister grabbed his sleeve. Your Highness. She almost hit me just now. You must punish her. Tension filled the room. Mother hurried to smooth things over. Qingheng, apologize to your sister, and this matter ends here. Xiao Heng pulled his sleeve away at once. Mother-in-law, there is no need. They are sisters. No punishment is required. He turned and strode out of the flower hall. My elder sister shot me a hateful glare and chased after him, lifting her skirt. We never finished that meal. My elder sister ran back crying. My parents busied themselves comforting her. Shen Yanshir, and I took the chance to leave quickly. Still, unease lingered in my heart all the way home. That night, Shen Yanshir prepared to sleep on the floor again. I watched him spread the quilt and made up my mind. You can sleep on the bed. Huh. He froze. Heat crept onto my cheeks. I blew out the candle immediately. Mother said yesterday she hopes for a granddaughter soon. Shen Yanshir stayed quiet for a long time. I thought he would not reply. Qingheng, are you certain? Stop talking nonsense. I will count to 3. Think carefully. 1, 2. Before I reached 3, a strong pull pushed me back onto soft pillows in the dark. A sweet fragrance filled the room that night. All tender passion unfolded silently between us. Near midnight, I dreamed. There was a Go Pavilion, with unknown white flowers blooming outside. A young man sat across from me and slammed the game pieces in frustration. I lost again. Which family's little girl are you? How can you be so good? I tried to answer in the dream, yet no sound came out. He leaned closer, but his face stayed blurred. I will come tomorrow. Wait for me. I will beat you for sure. I woke abruptly. Moonlight streamed through window gaps, covering the floor like silver frost. Shen Yanshir rolled over and held me loosely in his half-asleep state. What is wrong? Did I hurt you? Nothing. Just a dream. He hummed and did not let go. I stared at the bed curtain as my heartbeat steadied. A sudden thought hit me. If I was the woman Xiao Heng spent years searching for, this was absurd. I did know how to play Go, but wasn't as fief in Zizhou. Then again, I lost many memories after my head injury. Perhaps I really visited there with my maternal grandfather once. But what difference did it make? I was already Shen Yanshir's wife. With this thought, my anxiety faded away. Darkness fell fully by the time Xiao Heng returned to his manor. He walked straight into his study and shut the door behind him. A servant tried to follow inside to light lamps, but he shouted, "Get out," to send him away. He sat behind his desk in the dark. It felt as if a hand squeezed his heart, robbing him of breath. How could it be Meng Qingheng? Songshan. His voice sounded hoarse. Songshan pushed the door open. One glance at his master's face made his heart sink. When I told you to return those letters that day, were there any left? Cold sweat broke out all over Songshan instantly. Last time, the third prince ordered him to give all the letters back. He handed every single one over. And no, all were delivered to Madame Shin. Xiao Heng's face turned as dark as ink. Songshan's legs trembled, yet his mind raced fast. I will search again. Maybe some were overlooked. He fled out of the room the second he finished speaking. About the time it takes to burn one stick of incense, Songshan rushed back, gasping for breath. Your Highness, there is one more letter. Xiao Heng took the letter. Fetch the gift list from the presents Madame Shin sent on the wedding day. Memories washed over him. Right after the wedding, he looked over the gift list. He had praised Meng Qinggu for her fine handwriting. Yet Meng Qinggu complained her younger sister was scheming. Knowing their father loved calligraphy, Qingheng practiced writing relentlessly. Qingheng knows my handwriting is poor. Still, she copied Buddhist scriptures and gave them to father. Now, every time father mentions writing, he scolds me for lacking progress. He had comforted her gently back then. Songshan dared not ask questions and soon brought the list over. Xiaoheng spread the list across the desk and laid it beside the letter. Under the lamp, the handwriting on both sheets was identical. Xiaoheng closed his eyes. His cheeks burned sharply, as if he had been struck hard across the face. Night wind moaned outside. Songshan held his breath. He watched his master bury his face in his palms, shoulders trembling faintly. After a long silence, a nearly broken voice sounded. "Go carry out a task for me." I slept in late the next morning. Xiaotao brought warm water, looking overjoyed. "My husband told us not to wake you. He said you should rest more." He's in such high spirits today. He handed out reward money to every servant in the yard, just like a generous gift giver. A smile tugged at my lips. He could never hide his feelings. My mother-in-law excused me from morning and evening greetings. I planned to head out with Xiaotao in the morning. I ordered a hairpin some days ago, and today I could collect it. I never expected to run into my elder sister and Xiaoheng. The shopkeeper wrapped the hairpin for me. My elder sister signaled her maid to block my way. "How much is this hairpin? We will take it." The shopkeeper glanced between us, sweat forming on his forehead. He whispered, "This hairpin was reserved by Madame Shin first.
TC.
If the prince consort wants something, she will get it." I did not want to trouble the shopkeeper. She may have it if she likes it. I grabbed Xiaotao's hand and turned to leave. Then a voice spoke from the second floor. "What belongs to one person should stay theirs. Shopkeeper Liu, wrap it for Madame Shen. Also bring the gem set head ornament set on the shelf for her. Send someone to my manor later to collect payment." "Right away, Your Highness." I had asked about that set before. It cost 200 taels. I dared not accept such an unearned gift and refused quickly. "No need, Your Highness. There is no need to decline. You deserve all fine things." Hatred blazed in my elder sister's eyes. Xiaotao took the package. She shot a cold look at the maid. "Miss, wait for me." Xiaoheng's strange attitude weighed on my mind. I told Shen Yanshi everything once we returned home. Shen Yanshi immediately sent bank notes to Xiaoheng's residence. He also passed along a message. He told Xiaoheng to discipline his people well and stop trying to seize things that belong to others. I did not dwell on this incident. Even if the woman Xiaoheng searched for all these years was truly me, I was already married. What could he possibly do? As for my elder sister, even though she held the higher rank of prince consort, I had no reason to fear her. Summer had arrived, bringing stifling heat. Thinking of cool treats, I ate 2 more bowls of icy cream dessert. Yet that night, I came down with a high fever. When I woke up, every lost memory returned. Grandmother once took me to Zizhou to visit relatives. They were the Zhou family, her younger sister's kin. This story is produced exclusively by the YouTube channel Moonlit Stories. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe. Their mansion leaned against the hills. Not far behind the backyard stood a Go pavilion. I often went there to play Go in my free time. That was where I first met Xiaoheng when he passed by. I was playing against a cloth shop owner at that moment. The man pondered for ages before tossing down his stones and admitting defeat. Onlookers cheered loudly. I was about to stand up when a clear voice came from the crowd. "Let me try." Everyone turned. A young man in fine silk robes stood with hands behind his back. He was quite skilled at Go. Still, he lost after the time of 1 incense stick. The youth stared at the board, utterly excited. "What is your name? Will you come tomorrow?" I thought he was amusing, so I nodded. "Great. I will beat you tomorrow." Yet he lost again the next day. 3rd day, 4th day, he lost every single time. Beating me by half a stone became his obsession. He did not know. The stronger his obsession grew, the worse he played. I sensed turmoil weighing on his heart and asked him a few questions. He told me his mother had just passed away. His father favored his stepwife and paid him no attention. He spoke of how kind his mother had been to him. She even sewed winter clothes for him shortly before her death. I comforted him. I told him his mother loved him deeply. She would not wish to see him drown in sorrow. I also shared my own story, how my parents never cared for me. Compared to me, he was lucky. We played Go all day long. He lost again. He asked for my name. I already had a fiancé back then. I knew I should not grow close to an unrelated young man, so I gave him a false name casually. We agreed to play Go again the next day. But messengers arrived from Qingzhou that night. They said my maternal grandfather suffered a relapse of his old illness. We packed our luggage overnight and set off before dawn. I never saw him again after that. It turned out that young man was Xiaoheng. My fever broke, and I rested at home for a while. I told no one my lost memories had returned. Mother came to visit one day. She asked me for my Go manuals. I found it strange. She had never cared for such things before. Why would she suddenly want them? She offered no explanation, so I handed over 2 copies I rarely read. Then she asked if I could teach my elder sister to play Go. I ignored her completely. A few days later, an invitation arrived for a palace banquet. Sun Yanshi and I were both invited. He accepted. The Jade Garden Pavilion sat surrounded by water, cooled by gentle breezes. The feast was held here. Sun Yanshi and I arrived a little late. My elder sister sat beside Xiaoheng, dressed in deep crimson palace robes adorned with layers of pearls and jewels. Yet exhaustion lingered plainly beneath her eyes. During the banquet, Li Wanning, the empress's niece, brought up something my elder sister did when she was small. Ashamed of being exposed, my elder sister quickly shifted the blame onto me. You must be mistaken. That incident you speak of was Qingheng. Li Wanning had long been at odds with my elder sister. She refused to let it drop. Is that so? So it was Madame Shin as a child? Madame Shin, is this true? Her question was a vicious trap. If I admitted it, I would become a laughingstock. If I denied it, I would embarrass my elder sister. I was trapped either way. Beneath the table, Sun Yanshi gently squeezed my hand, hoping to rescue me. I shook my head to tell him not to interfere. I cannot be certain if what Miss Li mentioned concerns me. Before I returned to the capital, I struck my head in Qingzhou. Many memories from my youth are gone. If the third prince consort says it was me, we may take it as such. My reply was vague, neither confirming nor denying. Li Wanning smiled knowingly. Let us pretend I spoke nonsense. Still, I heard Madame Shun left for Qingzhou at a young age and stayed far from the capital. It is remarkable that Madame Meng remembers every detail so clearly. Whispers rippled among the guests, each wearing a different expression. Then Xiaoheng spoke up. My sister-in-law left for Qingzhou when she was 3. How could that have been her? My elder sister had been sipping wine. At his words, her wine cup crashed onto the floor and shattered. A vague unease weighed on my heart. I said I needed fresh air. Bright lanterns lined the corridor. Sun Yanshi followed me outside. A slender moon hung overhead, spilling silver light across the tiled roofs. Let us head home. I cannot shake this uneasy feeling. Very well. Shortly after we returned, an imperial edict arrived. The emperor ordered Sun Yanshi to travel to Yenzhou to investigate an old, unsolved case. Sun Yanshi began packing his bags himself. I thought his luggage was far too sparse and added more supplies. Half a cup of tea later, his cases bulged full. Sun Yanshi leaned against the doorframe. If you keep packing more, Mo Shu will think I am off to guard the border, not investigate a case. I did not turn to face him. Stop distracting me. I packed plenty of medicine for emergencies. A hand reached out from behind me and took the medicine pouch from my grasp. Sun Yanshi turned me around and looked down at me. I prepared a surprise for you. You may open it only after I leave. He set an exquisite wooden box on the low table. Morning light streamed through window gaps, brushing a thin layer of gold across his face. He had beautiful eyes. As he gazed at me, the tips of his ears flushed crimson. Do not miss me too much while you are alone at home. His stare made my cheeks burn. Who would miss you? Is that so? What if I miss you terribly? Silence settled over the room. Qingheng,
Hmm.
I will be gone for a long time. Won't you give me a proper farewell? Who was it last night saying we would see dawn if we continued? The sun has already risen. One more time would still count. Shen Yanshi. I burned with embarrassment and annoyance. You are the chief judicial officer of the Court of Justice. How can you speak such shameless words? He laughed softly. One arm wrapped around my waist, while the other reached to hook the bed curtain. The scarlet silk veil fell shut. Light and shadow swirled, leaving only tender warmth filling the room. Many things happened after Shen Yanshi departed. First, Mother discovered father kept a secret mistress. By the time she found out, the illegitimate child was already 6 months old. Mother slapped the mistress, and father struck her so hard she lost a tooth. She went to my elder sister, begging for justice. Yet my elder sister said, "It is normal for men to have multiple wives and concubines." All these years, mother only bore 2 daughters. The Meng family line cannot end. You are the main wife. No one can take your position. Mother seethed with rage. Meanwhile, my elder sister won praise for being gentle and magnanimous. Second, Xiaoheng took 2 concubines. But my elder sister forced them to drink medicine that left them unable to bear children. Furious, Xiaoheng stripped her of her title as prince consort. Ugly gossip spread across the capital. People said she had disgusted Xiaoheng. She could lecture her mother calmly, yet hid a venomous heart beneath a kind smile. As for the surprise Shen Yanshi left me, it was a property deed. He wrote that since I loved Go, why not open a Go studio? I thought the idea wonderful. The year-end festivities drew near. I helped my mother-in-law prepare New Year supplies. Shen Yanshi loved red croaker fish. I carefully simmered them into preserved fish sauce over slow fire. Before he left, he promised to bring me a gift on his return. He also said Mo Shu had fallen for a young lady and planned to propose once the new year passed. When Mo Shu married, he and I would paint a picture of joyful children as a wedding gift. I had already prepared premium Qingxin wallpaper, waiting for him to come home so we could paint together. But what awaited me was news that Shen Yanshi's carriage had crashed. He was gone. My mother-in-law fainted on the spot. The entire Shen manor fell into chaos. The emperor offered personal condolences and posthumously awarded Shen Yanshi the title Duke of Loyalty and Valor. Yet what good were honors after death? Life turned blurry, like rice paper soaked and ruined by water. My mother-in-law recovered from her illness, yet her health remained frail. I tended to her every day. Sometimes we talked, then fell silent, lost in our own grief. On the day of minor snow, I climbed the mountain to light an everlasting votary lamp for Shen Yanshi. I slipped on the stone steps and blacked out. When I woke, I was no longer inside the Shen manor. Strange curtains hung above my head. Dragon's incense lingered in the air. I struggled to sit up and noticed my plain robe had been swapped for a deep crimson silk dress. The door creaked open. Someone carried a bowl of medicine. It was Xiaoheng. He hurried over the moment he saw I was awake. He reached out to feel my forehead. I turned my head away. Where am I? My manor. Xiaoheng pulled his hand back, his tone calm. You fainted for 3 days. The physician said extreme distress wore you down. You need proper rest. I threw off the quilt and tried to stand. Thank you, but my mother-in-law waits for me at home. You will not be going back. He pressed down on my shoulders. My heart hammered wildly. What do you mean? Qingheng, your elder sister has agreed. She is willing to swap places with you again. Starting today, you will be the mistress of the 3rd Prince Manor. I thought I misheard him. Swap back. I froze for a second, then laughed. I suddenly understood his plan. Steal another man's wife. But he was not the emperor yet. I laughed out loud. Xiaoheng, do you think the imperial line is thin, making you the guaranteed heir? You are not the emperor. You are insane. Xiaoheng frowned faintly. I will be. He sighed and set the medicine bowl aside. He said it was normal, I could not accept this right away, and he would give me time. After he left, I rushed to the door, only to find it locked tight. Every window was nailed shut. This whole house was a gilded prison. I ate and drank as usual. How could I escape without building up my strength? Xiao Heng left early and returned late. Sometimes when he came home, he would sit and watch me, like gazing at a treasure he had recovered after losing it. I ignored him and refused to speak a word. 10 days passed. He grew desperate. Why will you not even look at me? Why would you choose a low-ranking official over me? Thunder rumbled outside. Rain was coming. I turned to face him. Was it not you who forced that choice? I once sought you out, and you said you could not meet me. Later in the palace, Shao Qi asked if you wanted to greet me, and you said there was no need. You spoke all those words yourself. Now you act like this. What do you hope to gain? Can you lock me away forever? You think you can swap us as you please? I'm merely an object you can pass around whenever you want. I did not know it was you back then. Xiao Heng raised his voice sharply, bloodshot eyes blazing. Qingheng, why did you not tell me you were Meng Qingheng? Why did you lie to me at the Go Pavilion all those years ago? What difference would it have made? I was already betrothed. You were just a stranger to me. Should I have secretly formed ties with a stranger? Even if we set all that aside, I ought to thank you. If not for you, I would never have met such a fine husband as Shenyanshi. A long silence fell. A violent thunderclap split the sky, lighting the room bright as day. The candle flames sputtered. Xiao Heng clutched the hem of his robes tightly. I will never let you leave. You are blinded right now. With time, you will come to understand. You have no power to decide that. The main gate crashed open. A man stepped in holding a sword. Right beside him stood Shenyanshi. Chaos erupted in the courtyard. Shouts and running footsteps echoed. The clash of weapons mixed with the rain, muddled and indistinct. The moment I saw Shenyanshi, my chest ached so sharply it felt ready to burst. I threw myself into his arms like a swallow returning to its nest.
He spoke softly.
Qingheng, it is all right. I have come to take you home. General Lin led troops to surround the third Prince Manor. Xiao Heng roared. Shenyanshi, are you throwing your life away? Shenyanshi stood tall, shielding me behind his back. Your Highness, I have a tough fate and survived the crash. My wife is timid and cannot sleep in unfamiliar beds. I thank you for looking after her these days, but we shall not trouble you longer tonight. His tone sounded casual, as if exchanging polite greetings. Yet his grip on my hand was firm. Xiao Heng stepped forward. General Lin's sword blocked his path. Your Highness, I act under imperial order. Come with me. Xiao Heng paid him no heed.
He stared fixedly at me.
But I avoided his gaze as if he were a venomous serpent. The rain slowly died down. Only when we stepped out of the manor gates did I truly feel alive again. The next day, the emperor presided over the case personally. Shenyanshi was alive. Sabotage had caused the carriage to plunge off the cliff. Shenyanshi and Mo Shu clung to an old pine tree growing on the cliff face and lost consciousness. If patrol soldiers stationed in Yenzhou had not found them, both would have died. Xiao Heng's men planted in Yenzhou failed to find Shenyanshi's body, so they rushed back to the capital to report his death. After that, he moved quickly to seize me. My fall on the stone steps at Hugua Temple was no accident. His men waited outside the temple all night. Once I fainted, they secretly carried me to his manor. He thought marriage was a game of Go. Could he undo his moves and restart everything just because he placed a stone wrong? Shenyanshi laid out every piece of evidence he uncovered in Yenzhou. The empress bore 2 princes and 1 princess. The crown prince passed away, and the second prince vanished. Only Xiao Heng remained with the strongest influence. Xiao Heng wanted Shenyanshi dead. It was not only because of me. He was the mastermind behind the second prince's assassination. Xiao Heng stood speechless in the imperial hall. The emperor fell silent for a long time, then said simply, I treated you well. Xiao Heng knelt on the ground and suddenly let out a bitter laugh. Father treated me well? Then how did my mother die? Dead silence filled the hall. No one dared to answer him. The following winter, judgment was passed on Xiaoheng's case. He was stripped of royal rank and imprisoned for life, yet he refused to live in captivity. He drove a blade into his own heart. On the day he died, the first snow fell over the capital. To make my elder sister take my place, Xiaoheng forced her to drink medicine that stole her voice. She lost her sanity. The emperor showed mercy and allowed her to return to the Meng manor. But father spent every night with his mistress. Endless sums of silver flowed out of the household. Mother wanted to hire a skilled physician for my elder sister. Father refused to give her any money. She is nothing but a useless burden. I should never have listened to that Taoist priest and sent Qingheng away long ago. Furious, mother took servants to the mistress's house to smash and fight. The pair became a laughingstock across the city. Several months later, the emperor named the sixth princess crown princess. One day, Shen Yanshi and I played Go. He lost completely. I picked up the black stones one by one and placed them back into the box, then looked up at him. Shen Yanshi, do you remember what you said to me on our wedding night? I promised I would keep you safe. If you loved another man, we could end our marriage. I stood and walked over to him, gazing down. Then I will tell you now. The one I love is Shen Yanshi, Chief Minister of the Court of Justice. He writes beautifully, yet plays Go terribly. His only flaw is buying me endless jewelry and never saving money. He froze. Then he surged to his feet and pulled me tightly into his embrace. His chin rested on the top of my hair, and his voice trembled. Qingheng. Qingheng. I laughed and tilted my head to meet his eyes. Are you calling my soul? He leaned down and kissed my forehead. The corners of his eyes glistened red. I love you with all my heart. Snow fell silently outside the window. The candle flame flickered inside the room. Our shadows stretched across the wall, merging into one. 2 lines of verse drifted into my mind. Heaven has finally heard my prayers. The warmth of mortal life is where I belong.
This story is never just a forced marriage or a dramatic revenge tale. It's a tender contrast between desperate obsession and quiet, devoted love. Xiaoheng chased a memory for years, yet he only loved an illusion and ruined everyone's life with his selfish fixation. Meanwhile, Shen Yanshi never rushed, never doubted, and loved Qingheng steadily through all her pain and unfair fate. True love isn't about clinging and possessing. It's about protecting, respecting, and choosing someone wholeheartedly. Thank you so much for listening to today's story. If you loved this heartfelt ancient romance, subscribe to Moonlit Stories for more touching tales. See you next time.